Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And the Houston Astros have lost to the Athletics 5-2 in the series opener. You know, I would have loved to see the Astros win this game. And it sucks to see the struggles that the Astros have had at home recently, as they are now 1-6 in their last 7 home games. It's very frustrating to see with the way that this team has played home in their last 7 home games. 100%. If you don't think that, then, I don't know what to tell you. But at the same time, you're not setting yourself up for a great performance when you're putting up a pitcher like Jason Alexander on the mound. I think at times Jason Alexander has come out there and he's pitched well for this Astros team. Like, the Astros asked him to step up against this same Athletics team earlier in the year in Sacramento and pitch, and he pitched well. He pitched 6 innings, only giving up 2 earned runs. But that's because he had he had an offense to back him up, and he doesn't really have that now. Look at how many guys were in that lineup in that game that are not in that lineup today. Look, Yainer Diaz is one of those guys that was in that lineup. He had the day off today. Isaac Paredes was a guy who I think had a solid game that game for the Astros when they won that game. They, crushed the A's. He is one of the guys that, is injured. Jake Myers and Jeremy Pena, neither of those guys played. Neither of those guys played today, and they were both in that game. And so, that's tough. You've got a lot of guys that you have out there that you don't have out there that were out there that last time the Astros faced the A's and Jason Alexander was on the mound. But it's not as it's not as good as Alexander was not as good as you saw in his first 2 games. In Alexander's 3 games, he has been able to do everything a pitcher could get, in the win-loss-save column. A win in his first game against the A's, a save in his second game against the Dodgers, even though it was an 18-1 ball game, and then a loss in this game today. That's funny. But, yeah, was he great? He was really bad. He gave up 11 hits in 6 innings. He gave up 5 earned runs, but I thought he could be a little bit better than he was today, but I didn't expect him to pitch so good enough of a game where the Astros would have won this game with 2 runs. The Astros were going to have a great offensive day today if they wanted to win this game, and I just didn't see that happening either, just because of the fact that we could look at the fact that they were able to put up, I think this is really incredible, able to put 4 runs and 11 hits yesterday against the Diamondbacks with the lineup they had. With Altuve and Can Smith having the day off, and you've got Jake Myers, Jeremy Pena, Isaac Paredes, and Yordan Alvarez injured. And you still put up 11 hits and 4 runs, and you sweep the Diamondbacks, which I'm starting to think maybe that wasn't a great series for the Astros. Now, it was a great player, playing-wise, that was a great series for the Astros, 100%. But it did lead the Diamondbacks to trade a .292 hitter, who's a good home run hitter, to the division rival of the Astros. I feel like the Diamondbacks probably would have been sellers anyways, but it's a little funny the Astros kind of pushed the Diamondbacks into becoming sellers to their division rival. I think if Josh Naylor does some damage against the Astros in a Mariners uniform, maybe we'll look back on that series against the Diamondbacks and think, maybe we should have let them at least get 1 or 2 wins. I don't know. But yeah, I think that trade probably still would have happened regardless of the Astros series, though, all jokes aside. All right, let's go over some stats. 5-2 is the final score. Like I said, I wasn't expecting much. I thought it was really dumb that Joe Espada would give Yainer Diaz the day off. I don't understand that decision by Joe Espada at all. Use John Singleton at the DH spot. That could have been Yainer Diaz or Victor Caratini, who was the catcher. I just don't understand Yainer Diaz getting the day off. A guy gets hot, And you've got all these lineup problems right now with all these guys injured, and you want to put them on the bench. Like, Yainer Diaz is not gassed. Yainer Diaz does not need a day off. He just got a day off on Monday in the opening of the series against the Diamondbacks. Don't tell me he needs a day off today. He doesn't need another one. He had 3 hits yesterday, went 3 for 4, was a big part of the Astros win yesterday. He had 2 hits today before that. Had it was 5 or 6 hits. It was 5 hits in the last 2 games. And you want to put him on the bench today? I don't understand that decision by Joe Espada. Look at the lineup right now. Look at the issues this team is having with the injuries. And you want to put Yainer Diaz on the bench? I just don't understand it. There are many things Joe Espada could have done to avoid Yainer Diaz being in the lineup for this game. Here's one thing I'll say that could have happened. John Singleton could have not been in the lineup, and Yainer Diaz could have been the DH. I love Big John. Happy to see him back in the Astros uniform again. I'm not saying I'm not, but if you ask me, would you rather have Yainer Diaz or John Singleton? Of course, I'm going to say Yainer Diaz. Or, I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe Zach Short didn't have to be in the lineup today. It could have been, I'm trying to figure out a way. I don't know. I feel like the only way Diaz would have been in the lineup today is if you didn't have John Singleton in the lineup today. I just don't understand giving Yainer Diaz another day off when he just had one on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday is doing really well in the lineup. I don't understand it. All right, Astros hitters today. Taylor Trammell. I really liked what we saw from him yesterday. Was big yesterday because he was 1 for 3 with 2 walks yesterday. But he had a really pivotal bunt single for the Astros because Zach Short got on base with a bunt single. There's a runner on base in the 9th inning. And what does Taylor Trammell do? A bunt single, gets 2 runners on base, and he advanced Short the game-winning run to second base, and then Christian Walker hit the RBI single to give the Astros a 4-3 lead. He was big yesterday, and he was great today. 3 singles, all to right. He was out, but on the second one, he was out stretching at second. He's now batting .260. Not a bad option for the Astros at the leadoff. I don't like Cam. Honestly, I don't like Cam Smith at the leadoff spot. He has been struggling lately, and I think he was especially struggling at the leadoff spot. I like Taylor Trammell at that leadoff spot as of right now. While Isaac Paredes and Jeremy Pena are injured, I don't think the Astros should go back to Altuve or Cam Smith at that option. I think Altuve has done well, whether it's been the 2 or 3 spot. And I don't like Cam Smith at the leadoff spot. I think he's been good, whether it's been the 2 or the 4. I think that's where Cam Smith has been really good this year. So I don't like them as leadoff options. Isaac and Pena and Myers are injured. So Trammell seems like a good option at the leadoff spot right now for the Houston Astros. 1 for 3 for Altuve today, single to center and hit by pitch in the 7th inning. You always take a deep breath when Altuve is hit by pitch. Another hit for Victor Caratini, 11-game hitting streak for Vic, a double to right for Vic in the 7th inning. Good stuff from him. Christian Walker's hitting streak does end, but he does get another RBI, a sac fly for Walker in the 7th inning to score Altuve, so another RBI for Walker, 0 for 3 for him today. Cam Smith, he had an RBI as well, RBI ground out and a walk in the 9th inning for Cam Smith. Cam Smith in the 9th inning saw a 104-mile pitch from Mason Miller, who got his 20th save of the today. John Singleton 0 for 4 in his first game back as an Astro, had a couple of flyouts, ground out to pitcher, struck out. Dubon 0 for 3, was at third and short today, struck out once, grounded out, lined out. Bryce Matthews 1 for 3, got back in the hit column today, was hitless yesterday but did have an RBI. Infield single for Matthews in the 8th. Zach Short 0 for 2, but the idea is a pinch hitter for him in the 8th inning. He popped out to first. Shea Whitcomb did come in late in the game as a defensive replacement, but didn't have any at-bats. I talked about Jason Alexander's 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Hector Neris pitched 2 innings for the Astros in relief, 1 hit given up, 2 strikeouts. His ERA is now 6.43 on the season. That's on the season, but with the Astros, his ERA is 3. He has pitched 6 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs for the Astros since his 3rd tenure with the Astros. Stephen Okert pitched the 9th inning, giving up 1 walk, but no other damage done. 2.53 ERA on the year now for Stephen Okert. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros. 5-2 loss. Tough loss, but I have hope that the Astros can bounce back tomorrow. If the Astros offense can get a little bit going, I think things can be better. Do I think Ryan Gusto is a great option for the Astros as a starting pitcher tomorrow? No, but I do believe that Ryan Gusto is a great option for the Astros compared to, potentially having Jason Alexander. I think Gusto's a much better. I think Gusto's a much better option than Alexander. And I also say with this loss today, the Athletics, by the way, scored the first 5 runs of the ball game. The Astros now have, it's like 14 or 15 straight games the Astros now have. It's going back to July 4th against the Dodgers that the Astros have not scored first in the ball game. Their opponent always puts up the first runs. That is unbelievable right there. The fact that the Astros have not scored first in a game since July 4th. Tomorrow it would be 3 weeks since the Astros have done that. That is quite incredible. But even though they have struggled, and I was right. It's 15 games. I remember talking about it being 14 games yesterday, and that there were 7-7. There's 7-8 in those 15 games. You would think the record would be worse, but it's not. And some of those games they have fallen back, quite a bit and come back into the ball game. But so, I wonder when that streak will end. I have to believe that streak will end at some time during this series, but I don't know. When that streak will end. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros. 5-2 loss in the comment section, and peace out.